welcome to the demo for Beware of the Cartographer, a game about making maps in a mysterious land. To my mother dearest, the journey felt as endless as Master Gordic bemoaned it would, but we're finally gotten to Runimere Lake. I'm sure my childhood memories will resurface as I make progress on the map. I do hope the threat of war isn't making life in the capital even more difficult than usual. Believe me, I'll do all I can to draw the border and bring back peace. I already long to return home and give you a detailed account of all my wanderings. I shall give your regards to Jean-Rue, Bertel, Little Jeannie, and all the Dalmion cousins as promised. Georgie. Gordic. Oh, how I suffer so! Not so much as I, who had to carry you here. My torment is not solely physical. Think of what this injury of mine truly means. I'm obliged to entrust my royal mission to my clumsy disciple. This is my true pain. One single error, a second of carelessness when mapping this forgotten backwater, and the border would be all wrong. And if the border is wrong, well, that would lead to a mapocalypse. Just think, there would be war? Absolutely. War and devastation. You get it. And would be these poor illiterate cabbage thieves that who would pay the price. They're not all illiterate, and they don't grow cabbage here. What do you know, young man? You certainly seem rather hasty in your judgments. I mean, pretty sure you're the one that's making judgments about people. I know what I'm talking about, master. I was born here. Ah, that explains your strange accent and your, homeliness. I'd say this is good news, actually. It'll help us build rapport with the local population. We mustn't tarry. Get to work and start measuring. Do you see that statue on the right? On the island in the lake? Sketch it and then show me your work. Right away. So we can look around. And here's a lake. And there's the statue that he was talking about. But what else is here? There's a cow. With sadness. Moo. What a fascinating creature. Okay, we can pet the cows. That one appears to be eating someone's clothes or a wig. And we're all the way back to the lake. Okay, let's look at the statue then. We've unlocked it. And now we're here. Nearby it is a statue of a nun with two heads. Curious. And there's a boat here and some other things. I guess that's it for what we needed to do now, right? Let's not jump ahead. Let's see what he has to say to us before we go ahead with more of the interactions. Oh, he's the one sitting by the cows. Have you sketched that statue to the right yet, boy? Here you are. Okay, yes, we have to fill it in. Splendid. Now we need to take some measurements. Do you know what this step instrument is? A batometer? A batometer? Yes, for measuring butts. Oh, yes, of course. I'm afraid that's incorrect, young man. It's a Waywiser, also known as a pedometer, which counts your steps. The name comes from podo, which comes from Latin, of course, and which means, toe. There you have it. Pliny the Elder would have yelled, podo occhius, when stumbling his little toe in the middle of the night. That's really not important, you know. Stop distracting me with all of your nonsense, we have work to do. With a Waywiser, you can measure the distance between two places as long as you walk in straight line. Personally, I have a more even stride when I walk on my tiptoes. Got it. Now, measure the distance between here and the statue and come back and see me. We're unlocking our tools. So we've opened that and now we've gotta go towards the statue. And it has measured. So now the statue in our menu has a little blinking symbol. So I presume that means we can now return and tell him the results. Still just sitting here. Have you used the Waywiser to measure the distance between here and the statue yet? Just as you requested. Perfect. With this measurement, we can now mark the statue on the map. Take this map. It was started by your predecessor. I had a predecessor? Ah, you didn't know? Now I understand why you were so enthusiastic when I told you about the job. We'll talk about him later. What happened? What'd you do to him? Now, open the map and mark the statue on it. You must use both your powers of observation and the distance measure to find the exact location. Understood. So here's our map that we just gotten, and we can drag the tokens onto the map. Okay, so it gives us the steps we have measured as a distance from where we've started. So we know what distance we need to place it at, but then would it be on an island that is connected, or would it be here on this little peninsula, considering we were able to approach it? I presume we can just leave from the map and observe again. Ah, okay, so we can see here that it is on a little island, and it is just joined by a bridge, which obviously wouldn't be on our map unless we drew it there. And then there's one island to the side, there's another piece of land here, and then there's a bigger island in the distance. So that would potentially fit with it being on this little island here. And that has placed it in, so we can't move it anymore, which means now this is correct. And I guess we go and show him to gain his approval. Have you marked the exact location of the statue on the map yet? Yes, it's done. Well done, my boy. There's a distillery on the other side of the lake. We'll also need to put that on the map. How am I supposed to get there? I can't exactly walk on water. Very astute of you to mention. That's why I'm going to give you a new tool. A graphometer. The graphometer measures the angle between 2 points on the horizon from where you're standing. The farm is the perfect place to measure the angle between the distillery and the statue. Let's go, graphometer! New powers unlocked. Okay, so now what I think he means by the distillery is this building in the distance. So we can sketch it and add it to our collection. So now that it's here, we take out this graphometer and okay, we're measuring the angle. So we start from the statue. And then we click on the distillery to lock this in. And that is added as an information to the distillery. We can put that away and then we go onto our map and we drag the distillery. Okay, so now it shows us that it would have to be alongside this line for the angle to be aligned. And it's near to the shore, so it's somewhere there. Yes, that's been accepted. Although from here, we can't exactly see how far away from the shore it is, so it might not be extremely accurate what we've put down here. But I guess that might just be like the first draft of the map. Don't worry about it. How are you getting on with measuring that angle? Angle measured, master. And I even put the distillery on the map. This map is coming together. I've good news, my boy. I believe you're now ready to survey the area and map on your own. The first cartographer's journal says there's a village on the other side of the lake. Unfortunately, the smoke from the distillery will certainly make it difficult to take any measurements. I'll let you work that one on your own. As for me, it's time for a well-deserved rest. Best of luck, Georgie, and do take care, won't you? Seems like he's done nothing is already. I must rest. Can we, talk to the locals? Is your friend always this grumpy? I'd love to have you stay while you get your work done, but well, I've known pigs that were friendlier. Oh yeah, Master Gordic isn't my friend. He's supervising me while I map the area. Really? Another one? How many are they planning on sending? You're not the first cartographer to come here. I warned the last one, but he didn't listen. And then, one day to the next, he disappeared. Poof. No news from him since. Though I must say, people didn't like him much. Couldn't even stand him, really. Wait, what did you warn him about? Yes, exactly. What dangers could await a cartographer here? Well, about the danger around here. The band of crows, the mist on the lake, quicksand. He must have just had enough one day and scurried on home. Who would want to go so far from home in the first place? What about your map? Are you going to add my farm to it? Yes, it's already on there. That's our basically starting point. Not sure how we knew where exactly the farm is, but it's fine. Oh, how beautiful. I knew you were an artist as soon as I laid eyes on you. I'm not. I've got a job to do and I know how to count. That's okay. You can still help me. Huh? With what? Why is she blushing? I've written a letter. It's for Noah. He lives on the lake. But my letter isn't very pretty. Here's my letter. Please decorate it for me. But don't read it. I'll wait for you here. Come back when you're done. Okay, well, we just have this letter, love letter to Noah, my beloved friend. I wanted to tell you when you last visited, and the words have been crossed out churning in my head ever since, like cats in a cage, which is why I'm writing this letter to finally set them free. Please don't treat them harshly or with indifference, but because I know you have a gentle heart, I can trust you with them. Here goes. I love you and I want you to be my husband. I know you've always lived on the water, but my farm can be on our ship, on the ocean for our short lives anyway. Just come, Yvette. Okay, so does she want us to use our little stickers, markers to put them on the letter and make it nice? Well, we put a cow at the end because they're gonna live on the farm together. And then we can add little birds around where she mentions a lake because they're nice water birds. And a little heart next to her name. And at the top, next to his name. We could add some skulls, but that doesn't seem appropriate for a love letter. Okay, I made a nice border of cows and love, and I think it's ready. So have you decorated my letter? Yes, take a look. Oh, thank you, kid. It's beautiful. Please, can you give my letter to Noah? I can't leave my animals, and Noah lives out on the lake, and either way, I'll be like fish out of water there. I prefer the land. Just be aware that Noah had some bad experiences with men of your ilk. So be sure to be as sweet as a lamb. You'll find him in the village of Laketon. It's a village on the lake called Laketon. Okay, well, our boss said just go out and map out, and yes, the village is hidden by the smoke. So what can we do about it? Well, when we went towards the statue, there was a boat. Can we use the boat? Whoa, 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 that's my boat! Okay, the statue speaks. Our boat, Callie. I saw it first, Alice. I predicted it would come here. Ladies, I'm terribly sorry. You'd like to cross the lake? In my boat? As for where you're going, you don't even know yourself. Of course I do, that is where I want to go. Okay, so she told us about the village, so now we'll be able to use that to talk to them and say we want to go there. Laketon. A village on stilts, in the middle of the lake. It will sink soon. You're going to bring us wonderful things. And much tragedy too, but you'll do your best. Is he really worthy enough of my boat? His fate seems different from the others. If he turns away from it, we'll never know what the forces of this land had in store for him. So be it. He may use my boat. Our boat. Bon voyage, Georgie. And off we go, although I'm a bit concerned for us, considering what they just said. Here we are in the village. There's a duck. Would you like a treat, little ducky? A frenzied rush of emotions as if it's drunk. Quack, quack, quack. I guess they wanted a treat. And there's also a person with another duck or a goose with a bow. No lady's poodle could possibly hope to match the elegance of your avian companion. Odillion, attack! Sick him! With all the hatred of the world. Honk! Okay, it's a goose. Well then, we have to watch ourselves or they will get us. There is a church, but it's only available in the full game. We can click on it to add it, but I assume we cannot go there, yes. There is some guy with a giant piece of wood. Excuse me, I'm looking for a certain Noah. He's standing right in front of you. Nice to meet you, I'm Captain Noah. I have a letter for you. Don't take this the wrong way, but I truly don't give a flying beam. You're not curious about what's written inside? Why would I be? I already know what it says. Give the writer my most sincere disregards. You must be mistaken, I assure you. Don't take me for some junior deckhand. Judging by your underlying livery, it's quite clear you've come here to collect even more taxes for the Lady of Modinak. Just so she's aware, those waters belong only to the ducks, and I already compensate them quite generously with grain. Yeah, so he thinks we're here on official tax business, but no, we just have a love letter for you. The person who sent me here to find you is named Yvette. Yvette? Yvette wrote me a letter? What are you waiting for? I must read it. I'm waiting only for a compassionate heart and a focused mind. Hand it over, now. Beloved friend, gentle, love, husband. By the sirens of Odysseus. Out of the way, I must go to Yvette as quickly as possible. Weigh anchor, set course for the farm. Wait, I have a favor to ask you first. Did you do something about the smoke coming from the distillery? I can't take any measurements without a clear view of the horizon. Ah, of course. Cartography waits for no one. Change of course. To the distillery. So he's off to deal with the smoke. So that will hopefully help us with our map situation. But yes, other than that, we're just in this village and we have the church. But because we don't have the village mapped on the map, we obviously won't be able to map the church. I presume it's somewhere here, because that's the only island's big enough. Though yes, the village itself is not on an island, but the church is. But we're still missing one location as well. There's a dog and there's a bird we can try to make friends with. Let me give you a little scratch behind the ears. Woof woof. What about the bird? Having wings would make being a cartographer a whole lot easier. In a melody of B flat major allegro. Tweet tweet tweet. Okay, the birds have a very specific tune here, so we can see the distillery from here. But if we return now, where should I head to now? Okay, so we can pick somewhere as well. So can we actually just go to the distillery ourselves? Alright, let's get going. Full speed ahead. Yes, we can. So that's another location for us to check out. So Noah's here now, and there are other people working on some things, but the smoke is still going. So what did you get up to then? Tell me once you've marked Laketon on your map, so I can go find a vet. You can count on me. Okay, so we can't progress his story until we've dealt with the smoke and our ability to see. So there are people here. There's just a bunch of trees. Okay, let's talk to the people then. You're the cartographer, Georgie, right? Smell this for me, Georgie. The scent of the pine trees around Runnymere Lake isn't just a balm for the soul. It's a feast for the nose, where each sniff heralds the next course. Or we can just be like, meh. Your nose smells the pines that are the source of turpentine. But for the brothers Argust and Baltus, it's the smell of success. A success earned through our own sweat and blood. How odd, I don't remember there being any pine trees around here. Of course you don't. Before us, there weren't. There was nothing here when August and I arrived from the Ossenblad Empire. Just land battered with the wind and covered in sheep dung, and miserable shepherds perched on shaking stilts. What poor fools. You should have seen them, my friend. Things are much better for everyone now that we have the forest. I saw them where I lived nearby. Is that right? You don't look like you're from around here, and I mean that as a compliment. You really come up in the world. It's quite inspiring. A man like you deserves to have a street named after him. Georgie Street, after the man who will put the Harz Bruven distillery on the map. And if you won't mind making it a tad bigger while you're at it, well, stop smoking up the landscape and I might be accommodating. You're certainly a man who means business. Unfortunately, when it comes to smoke, my brother August has the last word. But I'll keep that in mind. Come back whenever you like, my friend. Okay, so we've got to convince the other guy. 43, 44, 45. Is he making his own map? Well, we could upset his counting, but possibly that won't help us with our mission. So let's just not say anything. 46, 47, and that makes 48. 12 more than 2 weeks ago, but 8 less than 3 weeks ago. The count is correct. And who had it right? August. August, like always. Forgive me for asking, but why are you counting? It's silly, really. I'm counting the number of times I need to count. Each count takes precious minutes. Between 7 and 12, more or less. Knowing how many times I'll need to count means I can organize my time with absolute accuracy. Certainly, but have you accounted for this count? Or are you trying to recount to me right now? Given that your counting counts, you also need to count the fact that you're counting. You can't possibly be trying to contest my counts, are you? The whole distillery counts on my counts, so you can't be sure my count is correct. You must be George's, right? The famous cartographer, Sir Geordie de Ranfolbert, who's here to survey Runnymere. You're his lackey, aren't you? I'm his disciple. That's a lot of responsibility for a little guy like you. It's going to take some time for you both to finish such a map. A few months at the very least. It all depends on how helpful the locals are. And how helpful have they been here? Yeah, it's way too soon to say. I'm sure. We've also still got a lot of work ahead. 63 hours and 32 minutes. Just about. One last thing. The smoke is clouding the horizon. Baltus and I have an order to fill. Here. The customer is more than always right. He's even above the king. So unless the smoke is irritating my client's throat, we'll continue doing things as we are. If His Majesty Jean 7 heard you, he'd put you in chains on the spot. Or... Actually, you certainly spoiled this customer of yours. Yeah, maybe we can find out who that is and we can negotiate with them. It's worth it. He's a loyal customer. He only buys from us. Though, of course, we do have a monopoly. Yeah, exactly. Who else is running the same business around here? Well, if your customer asked you himself? Noah? Captain Noah. Yes, of course, whatever you wish. You are the customer after all. Okay, so he's the customer. The deed is done. So now they just turn off the smoke, right? Just like that. No problem. Which means we can take the boat back to the farm and we will be able to do our measurements. So now we can see the village and it's already in our location. So we need to get our angle measuring tool and measure some angles. And from here we can open the map. And when we drag the village, we see that actually it would be over here. But it's not on the land, it's on the water. So we place it here. And that's it for the demo. Okay, that's a bit of a short one. There was quite a lot of dialogue. I said this before, I am quite interested in various game mechanics that are to do with maps, so I liked what I saw with the various little tools, but there was very little of that in this demo as compared to just the various dialogue. So I hope the main game will have a lot more of the map making mechanics. Like, the dialogue was fun and all, so I'm not saying, oh, it was terrible, but yes, I would like to see a game that's really focused on you actually putting a map together using various tools. So we'll see about it when the game comes out. Right now it doesn't have a release date, so I'll just be watching it on my wishlist. Let me know in the comments what you think about this one. Do you think it will develop into enough of a puzzle, or will it be more of a narrative adventure with light puzzling steps? And if you enjoyed this one, consider liking or subscribing. Thank you to channel members for supporting the channel, and I will see you soon on another adventure.